Hello everybody, Intuition here. Thank you as always for making time and space for us. Today we have a tool to help you to grow at an exponential rate. And when we say grow, we mean grow in all areas of your life. Emotionally, psychologically, energetically, spiritually, all ways that you can possibly fathom. You will grow if you practice this one thing. And this one thing is as simple as taking responsibility. And when we say taking responsibility, what we mean is taking responsibility for everything that has happened in your life. It sounds a lot easier than it is. However, when you take responsibility for every situation, every circumstance, every malfeasance, you grow. You grow because you are able to move out of being a victim and into being an authority in your life. And when you are a victim, you are not really able to grow. You are stuck in a state, stuck in a space that keeps you small. But when you take responsibility for what it is that has happened, even if you don't really quite understand how you have helped to create that situation into being, when you take responsibility for your side, for at least 50% of what it is that has happened, in that moment, you take control. You stand back in your power. Because if you're not taking responsibility, then what you're saying is something, someone, somewhere outside of myself has more power in my life than I do. And that is disturbing. If you say that to yourselves, then you are never recognizing all it is that you are. And if you're not recognizing all it is that you are, then there's no possibility that you will ever know all it is that you are. And so then therefore, when you take responsibility for everything that has happened in your life, that is not to say that other people have not hurt you. That is not to say that you haven't experienced trauma. That is not to say that other people didn't help to hurt you. But when you take at least 50% of the responsibility for the events and circumstances that have happened, you would immediately, in that moment, grow. Because you are taking responsibility and you are saying, yes, these people, these places, these things have hurt me. That is not a question. But somewhere along the lines, I have hurt myself in the same way that these people have. And so then therefore, I am also equally responsible for the circumstances and events that have taken place in my life. Because I am the authority in my life. Those people that have hurt me can only remain an authority in my life, can only remain in power and control in my life if I continue to not take responsibility for the events and circumstances that have led me into those situations that were so hurtful. And this is hard to hear. This is upsetting. Not many people like what it is that is being dished out. Because it almost seems like what it is that we're saying is that it's okay that these people have hurt you. It's all right that you are traumatized. It is your fault. And that is not what we're saying. But what we're saying is, if you allow yourself to continue to be in the illusion of being a victim, then that means again that somebody else has control and power over you. Because if you are the victim, then that means whoever hurt you is higher in power and stature than you are. And if you continue to stay in that powerless place, then you will never be able to rise to the occasion to move forward and grow out of that and be responsible in all it is that you are, that allows you to move forward and evolve and gain the insight that that experience will lend to you. But you will not be able to see and perceive if you are stuck in that small viewpoint, that small lens of being a victim. And that is not to blame or shame the victim. Because as we said, we are saying taking 50% of the responsibility. Not 100%, 50%. I take responsibility for my part in what it is that has happened to me. That other 50% is on that individual, that perpetrator, that person that has hurt me, that has harmed me, that object, that circumstance, whatever it is. 50 on me, 50 on them. But when I'm saying it's 100% to you, then again, I am totally negating the power that I am, standing in my power, that then therefore does not allow me to rise and see all it is that I am and everything that I have lent to the situation. So if you want to grow, if you want to change your circumstances, if you want to evolve into all it is that you are inherently, naturally, quickly, then we recommend taking responsibility for things that seemingly are not yours to be responsible for. Nobody asks for a rough, insidious childhood. Nobody asks to be assaulted or hurt or traumatized or taken advantage of. Nobody asks for that. However, when you continue to stay in a place that is stuck and rooted in powerlessness, you are giving the other person a continued stream of dominance, a continued authoritative stance over you that does not allow you to remember all it is that you are. So taking responsibility doesn't mean that you are to blame for what happened, whatever it is that has happened. Taking responsibility simply means I'm not allowing myself to be a victim. I'm not keeping myself stuck that does not allow me to move forward and gain an understanding that would not otherwise be available to me if I stayed stuck in that powerlessness. I am choosing to be responsible for my part in what has happened, whatever that is, and in being responsible for my part, I am able to move on. That is all what being responsible means. It allows you the capacity and the opportunity to move on, whereas otherwise you would have to stay stuck. Because when you're a victim, you do not even realize that you have the capacity to move forward. But when you take responsibility, you realize all it is that you are. You're able to get up and dust yourself off, flip off whoever it is that has hurt you, and keep on moving with a fuller sense of self that otherwise might not have been retrieved if you stayed stuck in that state of powerlessness. So we offer this to you. There are many other ways to grow. If this does not sit well with you, if you do not want to take responsibility for things that seem like they aren't yours to take responsibility for, then please disregard what it is that we're saying. Grow in a different way. However, if you want to grow quickly, if you want to grow in all areas of your life, touch on every single aspect of all it is that you are, the quickest way that we are in awareness of is to take responsibility for your part in the things, in the circumstances and events that have happened to you, so that you could finally move on and usher in a new sense of self that, again, you wouldn't have been able to retrieve if you stayed stuck in that powerlessness. So in the very least, something to think about. As always, we thank you for making time and space for us, and we wish you well, realizing through your responsibility all it is that you are and all it is that you have always been. Thank you.